This is Digital Dub, and I'm back with another video that's sad yet but true. This one is called The Box, the abduction of a 13-year-old Louisiana girl. In the winter of 2025, a 13-year-old girl vanished from the quiet city of Baker, Louisiana. No witnesses, no struggle, no warning, just a child gone. For nearly 2 weeks, her disappearance would unravel into one of the most disturbing interstate trafficking cases in recent Louisiana history. This is her story. It all began where so many crimes now do, on social media. Authorities report that a group of adults, strangers, found her online. They groomed her, manipulated her, slowly chipped away at her safety from behind scenes. Among them was a 64-year-old man named Alvin Hansen, living in Louisiana. Investigators say he contacted her, met her in person, and took her to a homeless outreach location in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Not for shelter, but for access. From there, he led her to a Greyhound bus station. It would be the last place anyone from the community would have seen her alive. What followed next was not a spontaneous escape. It was a coordinated chain of events. She was put on buses that carried her across multiple states, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to Columbus, Georgia, to Washington, D.C., and finally, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In Georgia, a second man named Ronald Smith, also in his early 60s, was arrested. Police say he played a role in facilitating her travel up north. In Washington, D.C., she met a woman who appeared helpful, but investigators later discovered this woman would end up in the same basement where the girl was ultimately found. It was not one predator, it was a network. Dark assembly line of exploitation that moved the child across the country, hidden in plain sight. 12 days after she disappeared, a regional fugitive task force closed in on her home in Pittsburgh. Officers deployed flash bombs, rooms was cleared one by one, and then the basement. Inside, officers found a large box covered with a sheet. They lifted it, and there she was, the missing 13-year-old girl, alive, terrified, hidden away like contraband. Nearby were 3 adults, including the primary suspect, 26-year-old Keyshawn Crumity. Crumity now faces charges that include human trafficking, sexual assault, involuntary devious sexual intercourse, corruption of minors, and drugging. Authorities say she had been assaulted, exploited, traumatized in ways no child should ever experience. Louisiana Attorney General described the case in one sentence. She was groomed, exploited, and abused by strangers who found her online. It is a stark reminder of the world families now live in, where danger no longer approaches from the street, but from behind the screen. Where predators don't need cars or neighborhoods, just a username, a message, and enough time to manipulate a child who trusts too easily. Today, the girl's under the care of Child Services in Pennsylvania. She is safe, physically, but her emotional recovery will be long. This case is not an isolated tragedy, it's a warning. Every device, every app, every conversation a child has online can open the doorway to someone with dark intentions. Parents must be present, communities must be alert, and children must understand that not everyone who speaks kindly is kind. Because somewhere tonight, another child is scrolling, another predator is watching, and another story like this could already be unfolding. Listen, man, I'm sending healing energy to her and her family. I hope she gets the help she needs and she thrives in the future. Listen, thank you for tuning in. If you don't mind, like, comment, subscribe. Until the next time, here's the story.
3 people, including a 64-year-old man, for the abduction and alleged sexual assault of a 13-year-old Baton Rouge area girl. As Rob Masson reports, Louisiana's Attorney General says the girl was groomed, exploited, and abused by strangers who found her online.
Authorities found the 13-year-old girl from Baker, Louisiana, in a box in a Pittsburgh basement after a regional fugitive task force moved in with flash bombs Thursday night.
That's the goal, that we get the child, we get them back to the family, and that we get them some services that they're going to desperately need after going through a traumatizing experience like this.
I saw a girl, she looked like a girl, very small, being pulled out and taken to the right, which was where the ambulance was.
Witnesses last saw the girl at a Baton Rouge bus station 12 days ago, where authorities say she'd been taken by a man named 64-year-old Alvin Hansen, who was arrested in New Orleans.
Mr. Hansen had allegedly met the young lady, brought her maybe to a homeless place in Baton Rouge, like a place to get food, and then ultimately took her to a bus station there in Baton Rouge.
Investigators say by tracing the girl's Snapchat account, they uncovered that she had been bused to Columbus, Georgia, then to the Pittsburgh home, where 26-year-old Keyshawn Crumedy was arrested for trafficking, sexual assault, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, and sexual assault after the girl was allegedly drugged.
What I got to see unfold was a Baker detective that put in over 100 hours in the first week by himself, and then all the partners getting involved together to come to the common goal of rescuing this child.
Investigators say they found a woman and a man, both from Washington, D.C., in the basement with the teen at the time of the raid on the home, where neighbors were stunned.
We would never think of anything so atrocious like that. It's just horrible.
Though authorities worry that the girl has suffered extreme trauma, they say she's lucky to be alive.